New survey reveals women of color candidates face 5 times more harassment than white men. Black women running for office are finally speaking out after recent data revealed the alarming amount of online harassment they receive. A study from the Center of Democracy and Technology revealed that Black candidates are over 4 times more likely to be targeted with violent abuse than their white counterparts. Women of color are 5 times more likely to, in terms of misinformation. Black candidates are targeted twice as often. Research director at CDT, Dhanaraj Thakur, told the Washington Post that this abuse is part of the reason government institutions continue to uphold the, quote, unrepresentative status quo, unquote. He said, a lack of representation means that we lose the important insights and solutions to public policy problems that women of color will bring. While the CDT surveyed just 100,000 tweets from 300 randomly selected candidates ahead of the 2020 elections, they found that the majority of the harassment targeting women of color directly involved sexism, racism, or the promotion of violence. The CDT recommends that social media platforms implement updated policies against harassment, particularly ones around election officials and campaigns. While many platforms' terms of service already include provisions against abusive language and threatening violence, companies often unequally enforce them. With billionaire Elon Musk recently obtaining ownership of the social media site Twitter, experts say that his lax policies on hate speech are likely to make matters worse. So, yeah, this is a tough one. I think that this really shows, again, how far we've come, but we're still not far enough, and how all the different communities still have their own struggles. I was really sad, hearing about this. It really was a hard thing to hear.
I wasn't surprised. I mean, we deal with much more harassment than men on a daily basis, and most of us just deal with it and let it just slide off us because we don't want to get into an altercation with somebody. We don't want to be looked at as a man-hating woman, which is always the first thing that a man will think when you try to stand up for yourself, So the fact that Black and brown women even deal with more harassment is just ridiculous.
BIPOC women are always subjected to being described as angry and ready to snap.
Exactly.
And it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy when you're being attacked constantly that you have to be so demure about it and not say too much. I'm so glad that these women have come forth and become part of the study because the numbers are just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Marco Rubio has run a number of ads against Val Demings and basically has framed not only the anti-trans messages, the anti-LGBT messages, but also the anti-woke messages and the anti-Black messages. But it's, in my opinion, the worst of the worst is the anti-Black woman messages. This is an angry Black woman showing her screaming and arguing and pounding. When Dr. Martin Luther King did that in the church in Atlanta, we admired that personality. But we admired that personality because it's passionate. And he was preaching and he was telling us this is the right and this is the wrong, and we all respected that.
If it was Val Demings, she's an angry Black woman.
She's an angry Black woman. That is, it's misogynistic at its very core. And what's really sad to me about this survey is it's a reflection of, we know that this is what predominantly white men are doing in America. I sit in that bucket. I do. But it is principally, I have one additional card, which is gay. But white men are doing this. What's really sad about this survey is that it's a reflection, in my opinion, of the problem we have. Look at this panel, for example, that we're reporting on tonight in Queer News Tonight. All of these marginalized groups are not uniting in the way that they need to take back power, but more importantly, even if it wasn't to do that, to stop the viciousness of these attacks. And that includes lesbians, that includes trans people, that includes bisexual people, it includes religious diversity like Jewish supporting. It includes people of color. It includes varieties of groups. But one of the big groups it includes is women. Women are still, even though they're the majority of Americans, they are a minority in terms of their marginalization. That's how most women are not going to vote the way they should in their own interest when they lose abortion rights, because they care about something else more. And principally, it is similar issues to what white men are interested in, which is control, power, and money.
Money.
Like, something that Dr. Reverend Darrell Watkins had posted today. He said, if you think you love freedom, but you don't care if it applies to everyone, what you actually love is privilege.
Yep.
Yep.
Powerful.
Powerful and so true, Al.
Yeah.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.